All right. Thank you guys. Appreciate the patience there as we got through a couple of technical difficulties getting the stream up. Hopefully today you all can hear me because I've got the microphone turned on this week. And we didn't have to trim out the first minute of this stream. So thank you all for tuning in today. Really appreciate it. My name is Peter Del Tondo here at Unfold, and today we are going to continue over a little series we started last week doing some portfolio reviews. I know right now, with everything going on with COVID-19 and the coronavirus, there's a lot of uncertainty and concern about people maybe losing their jobs or clients dropping out of projects. And so we want to help you guys all put your best foot forward and try to go over some of your work and help ensure that you guys are set up to be successful and land a new gig or grab a new client. And so hopefully we can help you all with that. And I see Rob. Good to see you, brother. Nice to see you in chat. Ashutos, Dennis. We've got normally Teresia. I apologize if I say some of these names wrong, but thank you all for tuning in. We're really excited. I am joined today by David Kovalev and Evan Place as well, and hopefully we'll have some more members of the team popping into this stream throughout the hour, and we can go over some of these projects. And Nainoa, good to see you, man. We got to catch up. It's been way, way too long. Nice to see you on here. With that said, also, we're going to be going live every Friday this month, and maybe we'll continue that on longer. We'll see how it goes. But this week, we're going to be doing portfolio reviews. Next week or the week after, we're going to do maybe just like a live Q&A, and we'll have the team on here. Anything you all want to know, we'll talk about it, and we'll see what we can answer and give you all some insight into things. And we're also going to talk a little bit about some of the news and things that are going on in the design world and just have a little chat, maybe a distraction from everything else that's going on. So I hope that these streams can be something that you all really look forward to as well. And we've got folks from Bulgaria. That's awesome. From Minnesota. Hi, over in your neck of the woods there. Evan. And we got Ted. All right, cool. Well, let's start jumping into some stuff. So guys, maybe we will piggyback this around kind of like we did last time. What we're gonna do here is I switch screens and let me throw up the green screen so we disappear into the background. We're gonna have some portfolios to review here, and we'll take some turns with those that are on the call diving into these. I'm gonna try to, I think maybe guys, this time let's spend a little bit more time on each portfolio. We don't need to like race through necessarily as many as we can get to, but we will try to provide some really valuable feedback throughout these. So let's start pulling up a couple. I'm gonna grab the first in each of these. Open a new tab. Grab a couple of these open. I feel like we might have done Jiao last week, but let me.
Yeah, I think we did a few of them, but I think once we see their work, we'll know which ones we've done for sure.
Okay, cool. Uh,
Or did you already check them off the list?
I thought I checked them, but I have a
Oh, okay.
feeling that one we did as well. I think we did Mahai as well. Let me check that out. Jared. We'll get to that in a sec. Sorry, the Zoom window's in my way. And this guy. All right, cool. Let's jump into some of these. Wash your hands up. All right. Okay, so let's jump into a few of these. So we have, again, apologize if we get some of these names wrong. We're going to do our best. But we have Hussein, and let's check this out. So, getting a sense of the work that you do. So clearly a UI UX designer. I think overall the presentation of work here is very nice. That's something that I immediately get. I know we talked last time, there was a portfolio we reviewed where it was like tilt left, tilt right, straight, left, right, and it felt busy and chaotic. I don't get that sense here, which is nice. There's, some consistency with that. Everything that you've got here is really clean as we just kind of scan through here. I like the focus in your portfolio, and actually I'm curious how old these are. It's from 2018. I can see a huge improvement in your quality of work from 2018 to currently. And I would say like I start really seeing a shift in this area, which this is what, still 2018. So nicely done. I would have expected like another year or something in there. So that's awesome. I think this stuff is really nice. I like that you pair your skills with illustration. I think illustration and UI UX design go really well together, because it can complement, or you have additional members of a team if you work with a team, that you can rely on for some of those things. But if you can be a powerhouse and do both, and I think you seem to be doing those things really well. I love that we're seeing
Video
animation
work there.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, really clean. The one thing that I kind of immediately get from this portfolio is I can't tell what is real work. And that's not a bad thing by any means. I love that I can come here and I can see the talent and capability. So where I'm going to like try to be more specific or like grill it a little bit is more that I'd like to see things that I feel are usable and real solutions. Like most of this stuff, it looks like a design system, something you'd find on UI8 or whatnot, and it's great. But I also want to be able to view and kind of judge the design, not just from a pure aesthetic standpoint, but I want to know that you're building things that are out there actually solving problems. And so it'd be nice if I could see some more client work, which this one looks like it might be. But most of this stuff feels exploratory, which, man, this is fantastic.
Yeah, I love those little subtle details in the animation.
Yeah, this is
It's really
really,
cool.
really good. Um, I love this illustration style you've got. I would just like to see more projects that I feel are real. I feel like most of your portfolio looks like, things that you knock out on a Friday as you're exploring out some ideas, and there's nothing wrong
Yeah,
with
and
that.
it says just practice on the
Yeah,
bottom. So I think also like adding some more to that description, like some of the thought process and some of the like why you did certain things. Like even in the description, it can be like a paragraph long, but it can like help the client or someone that's trying to work with you understand some of the decisions that you took to create the design. So it's not like just a random piece of work, but it's got like intentionality behind it.
yep. Yeah, but overall, really, really, uh, sorry, I had to give Mike a hard time there, in chat. Uh, really clean stuff. I mean, I would definitely, if I was interviewing you, I would want to have a follow up. I'd want to chat. I would do a paid design exercise. Very important that you pay people for design exercises. It's not free work to be done. But I can see the talent and capability that would want me to see what kind of problems that you could actually solve. So yeah, clean stuff. Just do, even if it's more case study stuff, make it feel like it's a real product. Make up a company and like really solve the solutions. Stuff like here, this is all really gorgeous. I don't know what it's for, or we're not really talking about it from a user experience standpoint, and I'd like to see more of that in your portfolio. But again, cleanliness, design aesthetic, like you're getting a solid score here. We're just trying to pick
Yep,
something apart.
I agree. It's nice.
Um, and we'll see if we can get Eddie on here in a little bit. I
Oh,
know he's a
yep.
little under the weather today.
I think he's joined, but he's not. He's muted. So
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I'm here. I'm here, guys. Yeah.
All right, you hanging in there,
Yeah.
man?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Um, okay, cool. Well, we've got Jared Owen Snavely from Savannah, Georgia. And I want to take a look at, I feel like you might have more stuff on your Dribble page as well. Yes, you do. Okay, cool. So it looks like you're utilizing the Dribble playbook here. Um, and I don't know if this is maybe something with their update, but I'd love to see more work. I've seen Jared's work in my feed over the years, and so I know there's a lot more of it, a lot of quality stuff. So this one here feels a little empty, but maybe we could switch over and take a peek at this stuff. And anyone feel free to jump in while we're going, but I'll kind of start us. I think you've got a lot of great stuff in here. I feel like there's almost a little lack of like focus and clarity in some of the portfolio to an extent. And when I say that, if I were to come here, I don't necessarily say that there's a specific style or whatnot, and that's not a bad thing. Uh, but it feels like you're doing a little bit of everything, and I'd love to see a little bit more specialization in something, or leaning into some of these projects that I think are just a little bit stronger. Um, like some of these, it feels a little out of place with some of the other items that are going on. I feel like you have some things that are like, we get up here in this, like it's super detailed. You've got this really cool aesthetic going on here. Again, here I see that kind of thing. And then I get into something else and it doesn't feel like it necessarily belongs in the grouping. I don't know if I'm articulating that right, but guys, let me know your thoughts.
Yeah, I think Peter, I think you're on the right track there. It does, like, a lot of the work feels very different. Like there's not like a consistent skill kind of that stands out. I mean, there's a lot of good like talent. I think overall it's like there's nothing horribly wrong with any of these pieces of work. But like look at that Friday one. I know this one is like your dribble shot, but it's not like this is like more of your dribble feed. So obviously that's okay. But yeah, what you want to show the clients is the actual work that you feel is the strongest things that you solve the big problem for, and maybe just showing more of that process and showing more of how you got to that solution.
Yeah.
But overall, I really like the work. I think it's great. I love the use of color. If you scroll down, there's like they get really colorful. Yeah, like right here. I mean, that's really cool. Feels very friendly, and overall, yeah, I feel like there's a good mix of talent happening
Yeah.
here. There's like
These are
geometric
great
stuff and then very like kind of what's that word, like the southern or whatever, like that yellow one with the two hogs there.
Yeah.
Like label making. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. Like it's kind of a mix of different style of work. So
Yeah, it might be a good idea to use those what are they called, projects in Dribble.
Yeah.
Kind of categorize these, so you just sort them up into different folders. So,
Yeah, I feel like I agree with that here, and also I would love, rather than coming here to this page, I would love to see you have your own website that has these categorized a bit better, where I could see like your illustration work, maybe seems like some of these are patterns and textures that you might be selling online somewhere. So like branding, illustration, things for sale. And I think overall that will feel more together. And then like expand some of these projects out where like this bird and the blue heron here, it'd be really cool to see how is this used in application. Right now it feels a lot more experimental. So creating these to build these projects out further would be really good.
Peter, if you go up to the projects tab, there's actually some nice work in here. So click into that, and then just scroll down. Like some of these have attachments, and a lot of these are like really cool. Like if you scroll down, yep, there you go.
What would be cool, guys?
I would make dribble shots out of some of this stuff too.
Yeah, another would be really cool if Dribble like utilize this, and we can probably send them this idea to where default we would take you to projects. If you have
like on the playbook.
Yeah, the playbook. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, it would be kind of neat.
Yeah,
I mean,
this is the thing. If this was a dribble shot, man, this would be so cool. Like this right here.
Yep.
I would love to see that. Here, You're like tucking away all the presentation, so put that more.
Yeah, you can probably make like a good 10, 20 dribble shots out of all this.
Right.
If it's, I think it's an attachment at this point. So
it sounds like me. I'm like, somebody shows us work and they're like, I'm going to post all this. And I'm like, no, that's like 7 dribble shots. Yeah.
Yeah, you want to split it up. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, solid work.
Awesome. All right, let's move on here. I think we did this one last week. No, no, we didn't, but it looks
Looks
familiar.
familiar. It does look familiar.
Yeah. Um, this is really cool though. Okay, so Mihai, hopefully I'm saying that right. A lot of cool and fun marks here. Let's see, House and Arrows
I
exploration.
mean, the colors stand out.
Yeah,
A lot of colorful explorations here.
yeah, really exciting. Like it's one of those that I want to keep going through. I love this is really cool.
Yeah, and it would be nice to kind of piggyback off of the previous one, is like to kind of show some more of the application. Because right now we're seeing a lot of vectors, but when you show the actual application of it being used maybe on a phone, on a screen or something printed, I think it just makes that go kind of next level kind of
Yeah.
feel. So like
I
even that blue one right there, that brand book mock-up, it's
yeah.
kind of cool.
Yeah, I think there's a ton of great work in here. There's probably like 200 dribble shot follow-ups from all this stuff once you start mocking it up and putting it into execution. And that's another one of those where I'd really want to see how these apply to things. Like I actually just got off a call with a client that we advise on, and they were showing us their logo design. And when I first looked at it, I went, the logo isn't anything that feels like super impressive to me. But then once I saw it being implemented and how they're choosing to utilize it in the application itself, I was like, this is brilliant because now we're seeing the execution of the brand. I get the carryover, I get how everything connects. And it worked really, really well. So I would be super curious to see how you apply those types of things and what, unique features might be carried over into an application, whether it's use of color or shape or some kind of element, how those work. I really want to know that because I can clearly see you can make marks here. What I don't know if you can do is really build out a brand,
Yeah,
and maybe some of
that's a
that
good
is
point.
tucked away in these kind of, but
Yep,
even
here's
this,
one.
this
Yep.
is starting to show me a little bit. Um, yeah, again, this is the kind of stuff that I would want to see too. Like this is cool because now I'm seeing how you're taking these elements and
And I would take it a step further and just put that on a mock-up on a billboard or something
yeah,
like similar to that. Yeah.
yep. Yeah. So I think these are cool. I don't really understand the whole um, carousel thing on Dribble, to be honest. I don't get it at all. Because it's hidden. That's the thing. Like somebody has to go in and investigate. I want to see this stuff more front and center. So unless I was taking the time to click through these, which just like a carousel or like a hero carousel or banner, you can never rely on waiting for people to see the third message that you have, like, what is it, 12 to 16 seconds later. You can't count on that. You can't count on it here. So give people a little bit more opportunity to see those items. Anyone have anything else? Otherwise, we'll jump on to the next.
Oh.
Cool. Awesome work, though. Really, really good job. Okay, so this one is a PDF portfolio. Okay, let's
I
check
think there
this
was
out.
this space. Isn't that Dan Petty's? What was it? The
Design
challenge. The
challenge from like a
space.
year or two ago. Yeah.
Yeah, this might be it. Yeah.
Okay, here, let's maybe.
Yep, there it is.
Cool.
I actually did a version of one too, so it was a
Nice.
fun, definitely fun. Yeah.
I remember I worked on one with, or I was helping Evan with his back before he joined the team.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So I'm going to skip through this, but this is great
So
from
this
a
like review.
presentation
Yep.
standpoint that you're showcasing this information and how you got there. Okay, I'm glad I saw this because actually I remember scanning through this portfolio last week before the stream, and I was like, I have no idea why this watch is here, and I couldn't figure it out. So something that I might recommend is keeping like a tag or kind of headline of where you're at here to show that this is still inspiration or whatnot, because I thought this somehow related to the project and I was very confused. Um, And maybe it's because the same colors were pulled, but cool. So checking this out.
So now we're getting into the logo presentation.
So I'd love, maybe you'll get into it, but I don't understand why you did any of these things. I know you're calling out details, but I don't get it.
Maybe that's what makes the font unique, like some of the areas.
Holy circles, Batman.
Yeah, that's.
God,
I think
brain
you
hurts.
to start just lighten that up a little. The actual
These
outlines, the outlines, just lighten it up. It does feel a little overwhelming. You know, you want to make these, like the construction of a logo, feel very elegant and simple. You don't want to like overwhelm people. So it's a pretty cool mark on its own too. I kind of, it's different. You know, I think it's if you think about like your typical logos, usually it's like proportioned, but I like how this one's long. Kind of reminds me of the Nike logo, how it's like super stretched, you know, and we're so used to it. So I think having a long logo is pretty interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd probably get rid of some of these glows and things like that. I'm not as big of a fan. This is cool.
Oh yeah, pretty neat.
Getting fancy up in space, little
luxury.
Yeah, wine
this must
Wednesday.
Be the first class rocket seat. So
yeah. Okay. See, I love stuff like this where you got creative and you thought through it of like, I'm gonna do freeze dried food and whatnot. This is really cool. I dig that a lot. Stuff like this, regardless of the design itself, tells me how you think and how you problem solve. And it tells me that you're thinking about like the true challenge and like outside of the box and how can we not just execute what's asked, but take it to the next level and like really push something. So I really appreciate that kind of detail is in here.
Yeah, I think maybe having a few more, if you want to go a step further, like having on a rocket ship or some sort of like you're in orbit,
Right
you know.
here.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Spoke too soon.
I'd love the color to match and you could do some stuff in like Photoshop or Lightroom to tweak that.
Yeah.
But it throws me that everything else was green and now we're yellow.
Yep, I agree with that. Yeah.
And
looks great
because this says SpaceX, so I would Photoshop that out and drop in your other mark. But this is really cool. This is really cool. This is fantastic.
There you go. Yeah, go back to the astronaut one.
Yeah, I want to go to the next portfolio, but like I'm kind of entranced.
Really cool. Yeah, this one's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I think this is kind of what I was expecting to see. Cool.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna just because I want to see something else you did, and then we're gonna go quick. Okay, this is the kind of stuff I love seeing too. This is really neat.
Yeah, it's really cool.
We're gonna move on so we get somebody else, but really fantastic presentation on that. Really, really nicely done. And go away, Zoom window. Okay. We have two of them open. Okay.
I think we did this one.
We did this one last week.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, cool.
Scroll up to the top. Yeah, because his photo was like partly colored.
Yeah.
And we were talking about that. Yeah.
Okay, so we got through a couple of these. I did this one, Jared, and this one. Okay, awesome. Let's get into a couple more. So Mike, oh wait, that's an email address. David, did you grab the wrong link there?
Yeah, I'll drop it in. Okay. Just move on. I'll change it.
Cool. We'll do that one after. Make sure we get to it. Let's see, it's 13 years old. I'm excited to see that. And let's do Stan. And David, let me know if you want to, maybe after these, you want to pull up the links on your end too, and then you could hit the driver's seat for a couple of these.
Yeah, sure. Yep.
Okay, so let's jump into Yatin. Hopefully I'm saying your name correctly. 13 years old. This is super impressive, and I feel totally inadequate right now. Thanks for giving a 30-something-year-old man imposter syndrome. This work is really nice. So something that I'm really impressed with, and there's things in here that I'm going to go over that I think we can improve on. But one thing I was expecting to see in your portfolio was a less than ideal use of typography, particularly in sizes. And this is pretty good. There's a couple of items here that I would say are a little hard to read at small scale. You know, a couple things here, but aesthetically, this is really impressive. And I can't believe you're 13. Um, can I annotate on my screen? Okay, I think I can. So there's a few things here. You could probably spread these items all out a little bit more and it'll feel a little bit airy. This information here feels a little crammed and there's a lot to account for. Like I've got this icon, I have a warning, a label, multiple icons, the temperature, and a menu system. Like it's too many things. Show me one or two items, and then I can dive into more. And then things like alignment. So I want this and this text to be on the same like grid line, and they're staggered. So having that be a little bit more consistent. And then the menu system down here, this is super busy and confusing. Things are aligned a little bit differently, but I'm very lost at this point.
Mhm.
But you're on the right, like I'm getting super nitty gritty. And guys, if you've got anything else, but this is an amazing start for somebody who's 13.
Oh yeah, yeah, I completely agree, Peter. I think at 13, I don't know what I was doing, but I
Yeah,
definitely wasn't.
I
I was
wasn't
probably doing
doing this for
chicken
my
scratch
first couple
sketches.
years. Yeah. So
But yeah, the fact that he's already this far ahead, I think he's got a bright future ahead of him. So just
yeah,
keep learning, keep practicing, and the fact that you've submitted your portfolio just to try to improve at that age, I think you're on the right track.
yeah, this is really good. I
Oh, look
def
at that new score. New, how do you pronounce it? The
where?
style right here, the dark and the light shadows.
Oh, the neomorphic or
Neophorism, neomorphic. There we
neomorphism.
go. I'm mixing
Yeah,
the old with the new.
let's not get into that
Neophorism.
debate right now. But I mean, this stuff
Whoa,
is
it's nice though.
solid.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So
very
this
cool.
button here, this feels super out of place to me. I think it's just the shading styles, but like
Yeah,
this feels like it got dropped in through PowerPoint, whereas some of the other things are much more elegant. But I mean, again,
and
holy moly.
he only has 4 shots. So just keep it up. Keep building your
Yeah,
portfolio. Yeah. So
seriously, I'm kind of stunned and blown away by this. Keep up the
he
good
does
work.
look 13 in that picture. So
Yes. Unless we're getting like catfished by, in like some kind of design portfolio sense. Really cool. Okay, Avinash, and I remember you reached out in the live chat. I think I talked to you the other day. This is, wow, this is cool. Love the use of color in here. This shot is stunning.
mhm.
I would love that as a like desktop background or something. This is really cool. So we got some UI work. We've also got a lot of illustration stuff.
A lot of colors.
Really cool.
Yeah, I think some of this stuff feels a little busy, especially on the UI side of presenting the work. Just felt a little
These.
bit cluttered. Um, so maybe simplifying some of that. I think down here they look a little better, like the UI presentations.
Mhm.
Like these feel a little better to me, but the ones on top were just a little bit busy with a lot of stuff going on, and then you got like the transformer robot was like in each shot.
Yeah.
So maybe just cleaning that up a little bit. Um, but aside from that, I mean, I think there's a lot going on in each shot. So maybe giving some shots some air to breathe, um, just clearing that up a little bit would help.
Yeah. I think overall the work is really clean. I think again
Mm-hmm.
with this one I have a little bit of a sense and maybe Okay, so this one I'm assuming is a true project. Okay, cool. Obviously, is one of those where, client didn't go with some of the things that maybe you had built out, and so it's a bit different. I would love to see more things that feel like a real project. Kind of going back to that first portfolio that we talked about. It feels like a lot of the stuff was just kind of designed to be a dribble shot or something. I would love to see more client work, and again go into like how are these things solving problems. But this is looking good. So we've got like the light UI, the dark UI. This is clean stuff. I think this is a good example though, where aside from some of those comments, we were talking about this last week, where as you are uh, building out your portfolio and creating your work, and we also dropped an interview with Eddie. You guys can go watch that after the stream. We sat down, got to know Eddie a little bit because we're gonna slowly pull Eddie out of his shell, and we also went through some projects and kind of he breaks down how he builds some things out, and we talked a little bit about presentation of work and how it's really important to have your work be seen where it's gonna stand out, and particularly on Dribble, if we come here and just go to the main page, let's just switch over to like popular. um, you've got to build these things in a way where as I pull this up, and I'm gonna just lower this for a second, the projects that immediately stand out to me are like this one, this one, this one, um, because they're so different. Everything else here in particular is very light, is very similar, but it's the projects that really call out, and like this one here, I'm really drawn into that. So something that we do, and I don't have it prepared, and I don't know if I have projects that I can't show at the moment, but we actually have a Figma file where we mock up our dribble shots into kind of a popular page. And part of what we're looking for is like, are we presenting this in a way that would stand out and entice somebody to go check this project out? So that's a really important part of your presentation. Cool. And let's see, we've got two more here. And while we do these last two, David, why don't you pull up the next ones, and then I'll pass it over to you
Yeah,
afterwards.
sure thing.
Okay, so Samuel, hopefully again saying that right. Looks like you're a student and working on a couple of projects. So I'm going to assume with students, we tend to see a little bit of everything. Um, General piece of advice for students: focus on the thing that you want to be good at rather than just all the varying topics that your teachers are telling you to show in your portfolio. I generally see the best student work being the ones that like focus on web design or focus on illustration or branding rather than just like have one project in every category. But I think you're already doing a good job of that. I see more print and like illustration work here, and I'm curious to check these out. Cool. I mean, I think you could build out the presentation a little bit further, but nice and clean work there. Nice presentation of stuff again. Okay. Check out a few of these. It's hard because I don't know what is being said on these cards. Maybe something like happy birthday, or I don't know. But let's check out the space book covers. I think
I can probably read it.
overall this is really clean, and where I'm going to give you encouragement on this stuff is that judging as a student, I can see your thinking capability in this. I can see your talent, and some of the things that I think you could thrive on getting an internship or getting a junior position somewhere. One thing that I might do is that like over time Like this is probably a good example. In another year or 2 years, you're going to look at this project and go, I can do way better work than this. And it's not to say that there's anything wrong with this now, but that's kind of the natural progression of all of our portfolios and the body of work that we have. And so what's going to be cool is going to be checking you out again in a year and going like, wow, look how much better some of these new projects are. And then you slowly start to maybe like remove or archive some older work. But this is really clean stuff, and I think this is a great start in a young career. So nicely done there. All right, and then
Yeah.
we'll do Stanislaw last, and then I'll pass it over to Dave, and then maybe Eddie. We've got a couple minutes if you want to pull some up too.
Yeah, I want to say this Stan guy. He this was his second attempt at submitting a portfolio. So just
Okay,
FYI.
cool. Really wants to get in there. I love
Yes.
the tenacity. All right, so we've got HelloCash, a financial software as a service product for millennials. And I love that you actually built this for the actual usage. That's pretty cool. So often I just see people like slap a screen into a device and it doesn't really work. And I love that you did the journey maps. Okay, so whether or not this is a real project, I'm going to say you put a lot of effort into this, which is something appreciative to see that you thought through this. You didn't just build something out. Okay, so we've kind of got this kind of gradient shadowed style on these icons, which is actually working a lot better in application than I thought. I thought it would feel a little out of place, but it's working pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, I'm like looking for things to try to pick apart, but overall this is looking pretty solid. Okay, nice and clean. Let's take a look at, let's do this one. Again, really nice presentation. I think especially on Behance, again, going back to presentation, having something that makes the user enticed to learn more. And I don't know where this is going. Kegel exercises? What? Let's make sure this is safe to put on the stream. Let's see. I'm encouraged to like learn more. I get to see enough of the application that I want to see more. Even though you've given it to me, I don't feel like I've gotten to eat the cake yet. So it's brought in my attention, and I want to see now how this is done. Um, so there's a subscription-based workout app that motivates and supports users in, I don't know what PF muscle training is, but okay. Um, this is really clean. Okay, so onboarding process through here. I really appreciate little things. I'd love this to extend so it's the same width as some of these things. It's just something I'm kind of a stickler on. Some of this type looks really small. Like as I hold my phone up to my screen, what I'm seeing on the screen is larger than my phone, and I would really struggle reading some of these things due to the text sizes. So just make sure that things are a little bit larger. Um,
Yeah, and
and
maybe some of these screens have like um, too much use of red, like where it like competes for my attention. If you go back up, like
yeah,
there's a few things that are like everything's just red, right? So I
yeah,
get the whole monochromatic with a burst of color, but maybe think about using maybe white or a darker color for the labels or for secondary buttons. So things like that, I think can really help navigate the user.
yeah. Maybe this text too, like keep it in line. Just move this
Yep.
over a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And that's from a user experience standpoint. Like I get the brand color might be this like hot pink, but that generally associates like warning, don't do this or whatnot. And so it's kind of confusing in this, and everything is the same. Like read this, all the CTAs, like it needs a little differentiation or primary secondary, but this is cool. And I have a really short, funny story because I had to design a similar app to this. I had somebody reach out. It was no joke on April Fools. This was like 2 or 3 years ago for an erectile dysfunction app, and I thought it was Mike Jones punking me. And so I didn't take it seriously, and it ended up being a fantastic client. They were so nice to work with, but it was one of the funniest inquiries I've ever gotten because I didn't think it was real, and I thought I was being punked because it's April Fool's. Who emails you about that project on April Fool's? But
Yeah.
anyways, and
Hilarious.
then David, you want to take over the screen share and we'll have you drive?
Yep, sure. Let's do it.
All right.
Let me share my screen here.
And I've got Zoom split out in Windows, so I don't know what window it's going to pop into. Okay, that one. Exit full
You got
screen.
visual?
Yes, let me make that there. And that works. Okay.
Okay, cool. All right, so just going down the list of portfolios here. The next one is from Mike
Hi,
Delsing.
Mike. I love the description. That's fantastic.
Oh, that's funny. I didn't even catch that. I'm like trying to read his name, and it's like there it is, a big watermelon.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Oh, I remember Mike's space project. That is one of my favorite ones. And where does
Okay.
Mike work? Because I know
Ah,
I'm super familiar with his stuff.
let's see.
Minnesota.
Doesn't say it.
Okay, hang on. I'm gonna in a different window. I want to look this
Yeah.
up because
All right. Yeah, I can just get started here. So just going through like the main shots that you have up here. So obviously you specialize in web design, some UI UX, primarily web design, I'd say. Let's hover over this guy. Oh, that's cool, like a real light, like a match burning. Some illustration work, maybe. Let's see what this looks like. Oh, a funny GIF in there. Set the mood. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think overall it's pretty clean work. I love the presentation on this one, the way you kind of have things rotating around, a lot of motion. Let's kind of expand on some of this.
this is really clean.
Yeah, overall it's pretty clean. I love the simplicity of it. The colors are pretty simple. The layout is nice. The icons are nice. Photography is clean.
Yeah. I love the
Really
airiness. This
nice. Yeah.
reminds me a lot of like Corey style. David and I at an
Yeah.
agency we used to work with, like everything was very airy and spaced, and it feels super clean. You're able to get a ton of information here without being overwhelmed. It's really good.
Yeah, this is great, and I think it matches them really well. Color and water. I mean, that's what they do. So it's all blue. You know, you got the right palette going on. So I think it's a really good case study.
Yeah. Yeah, really nice. Let's check out that spaced one. And
Yeah.
while we're going through that, just something, Mike, because I've been following you for a long time on Dribble, and so I love this project. This is so good. But you're in the same boat as me, where I have a super outdated portfolio domain, and I've been meaning to just redirect that to like Dribble or to the team page or whatnot. Your personal website, when I Googled you, is super outdated, and so I would encourage you like redirect it to Dribble or something. It doesn't even look like the same designer. Your work here is so impressive, and again, probably like me, it's just not been touched in a long while. On your old site, but man, this stuff looks so good.
Yeah, very nice composition work, overall layouts. Yeah, I mean, to me, it's there's not much wrong with it. You know, I think it's just at this point, it's like preference, and you know what works for some people, what doesn't, and you know, just kind of getting nitpicky on stuff. But overall, you know, I think it's great work.
Yeah, something I really love, and this is actually a question that we've been, I feel like, getting in a couple of our recent like sales calls is I like that you have stuff that is more photo driven and whatnot. Because people like our illustration style, we get hired for that so often, and it ends up being what we show because that's what we do. And I've had a couple people ask recently, like, can you guys design something with photos? It's like, of course we can, but illustration's just been really popular, and that's what we've been doing. And I like that you showcase that ability, and that the work here isn't reliant on any kind of illustration trend or whatnot. The work is really timeless, and I think it's really really clean. So this portfolio reminds me a bit of Jason Kirtley's from last week. It's just really strong across the board, and really impressive.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's I think it's good. We can move on. Oh, this one's fun. Home Alone. Really cool. All right. Good work, Mike. Keep it up. All right. Next one. Majid Ali. I hope I pronounced that right. All right. Getting into your work here. Why isn't his showing up as your typical portfolio layout site, like profile layout? Is there a reason?
I think he hasn't been
Algorithm.
drafted.
Oh, really?
Oh,
He's not a
so
player
he's
yet.
not a player.
'Cause you
Okay.
can still have your
Gotcha.
work. Yeah.
All right.
Maybe, I'm
Well,
not sure.
let us know if you need invite. We might have one laying around.
I've got one.
Pavel's got one. So, all right. So yeah, let's go through this one. I think overall it's nice off the bat. You know, I think it's got a good layout, good compositions. This one stands out to me. Just the cleanness of it and the illustrations in here. I mean, if you did these illustrations, this is really good work. I'd say it's really top quality work here for sure.
You've earned an invite.
You've earned an invite, yes. So I think this is really clean, very very nice overall.
Yeah, little details in there,
Someone's
like
saying he's not a pro. So,
oh, he's not a pro. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay. That's the difference.
Well, yeah, I don't think we can help him there then. He'd have to pay for that one. I think it's a yearly subscription for Dribble.
There's a couple things in here I would just mention is there's a couple of spelling errors, but then like down at the bottom where you've got rate, share, bug, more, you're using a capital letter at the start of everything else. So just keep that up. And then same thing with like select language or current score. Everything should be all capitals, or it should be capital C under or lowercase s, depending on how you're doing that. Just whatever it is, keep it consistent.
Yeah, I agree with that. This is nice and clean. Yeah, maybe work on these numbers here. They feel a little bit out of place, but I do see that they're trying to match the design. Something about those feel off a little bit.
That 2 feels really weird.
Maybe the placement of where they are. Maybe if you move them on the bottom, it might help.
Yeah, it works better on the second one. Like I don't like the type itself on that 2.
Yeah.
But it feels like this is a true marker, or like this feels like an element of the lamp or something.
I think he's ready to go pro.
Yeah, there you go. You heard it from Eddie himself. Cool. All right, let's move on. I know we're running close on time here. So Salim Mansouri. So let's see. This is an actual website. Looks like he's using Webflow. So let's start on the top here. Go down. Kind of shows who you are here. Good introduction with some clients you've worked with. Looks like it. And then just some testimonials. And then jumping into some of your work here. Okay, I think the layout is good. I think the flow of the homepage here.
Yeah, you want to dive into one of those case studies?
Yeah, sure. Let's do that. Since this is the first one, this must be the best one. That's the way I always think.
Yeah.
All right. So this is some sort of recording studio or something, or an app.
Resonate Recordings, podcast production company. Okay.
Personas. Okay, so this might be part of the branding, I'm guessing, strategy. Kind of getting into some of that, showing the previous work. Okay, so I think off the bat, I would probably, yeah, see, this is confusing because I'm seeing the new work here in the photo, and then it's down here as well. And then this is showing the old one. I don't think I would show the old stuff unless you put them side by side or maybe on the bottom, just to show people what it looked like. only because I feel like you kind of want to see. I mean, you do title it as redesign, so maybe showing like in a small like gallery here of how it used to look like, because it is a little confusing.
Oh yeah, you're not clear
'Cause
of
this is
that.
this is the old form, this is the new form, basically.
Right.
So then this is okay. So then it gets into the episodes page. Look, and to me, kind of what throws me off is like it feels very different. Like
Yeah.
this, the colors and the style here,
Well,
and
and
then you go down and
it says new
or am I
form light
misunderstanding?
theme, but it's a dark theme. If you go up,
Up here?
yeah. It says
Oh yeah. Okay, so it looks like those are probably mixed up, the light theme and the dark theme.
yeah.
And then again, maybe that shows that you can brand it. Like maybe you have the ability to like people can brand it to their own color. I don't know. So this is the dark theme. That's the light theme. Okay. So let's keep going. Okay, so it looks like these are the primary colors here. So that kind of threw me off that login page.
Yeah. I
And
feel
then
like I
this
don't
is
need to
going
see
back.
everything being light and dark. Like, show me that
Yeah.
there's a light mode and a dark mode, and then maybe show me multiple screens, like kind of how you have here, maybe coming down where it's like 3 or 6 up, and then I just get that there's both. Like, I don't need to see the variation for each of them.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
there might be also a creative way of showing light and dark mode with some sort, maybe some kind of composition since it's a presentation.
Yeah.
You can get a little creative with that.
Or like a GIF, like I tap it and then it
Yeah,
transitions or
either GIF
something.
or some kind of transition. Yeah.
Yeah. If you go down, David, I think like 2 or 3 screens. Let's go up to the login first. So this is super, super nitpicky, but as a hiring manager, the things that I typically look for beyond just like the overall style and talent is I get really specific about the details, because the less time that you as a creative director have to spend with your team fixing issues or errors means the more time you get to think about the creative possibilities and whatnot. So when I get here, I see forget my password, which it should be forgot my password, but
Mm-hmm.
then it's capital F, capital M, lowercase p.
Mm-hmm.
So like, again, it's one little thing, but then I start to now like question and look at the other things, and it tells me that like also got past you as you were reviewing your own work to showcase here. Like the 3 little dots on the top right
Yep.
are
Misaligned. Yeah.
misaligned, and then when you go down to like this page, or either of these, light or dark,
Mm-hmm.
a couple of things here where to me this submit new episode, how this sits so low, it feels kind of awkward, and it makes me wonder like, hey, was there a solution that could have worked to have the add button on the left hand side, or like it's a giant big call out, but I wonder if it could have been done in a way that feels a little bit more balanced. And same kinds of things here, like I don't get the reasoning for the big circular items, or like this is empty. There could be a more interesting empty state. Knowing that podcast artwork is squared, why am I seeing circular previews? Like those are the kind of little details that I'm trying to, again, this is the harshest feedback I can give. Like I'm trying to pick apart a breakdown in process, and like here these icons, or this one here is misaligned on the left side. Like it's little
Yep.
details like that. This is all fixable stuff. Like I can tell you these things here now, you go fix it and your portfolio looks great. But those are the things I share with you and with everybody else to like try to really focus in on, because if you fix these things, it's going to make you look that much stronger in an interview, or to a client that's like looking at your work.
Yeah, and just like spacing and padding. So here on the left of the buttons, you have more padding than on the right. Some of these images are blurry. Yeah, so this actual size. And this image, I feel like it's being repeated too often, this lady. Oh, it looks like it's the same one here. So yeah, I think just kind of giving it a little more variety, a few more maybe mock-ups, some other stuff. So
Awesome.
cool.
Well, let's do that last portfolio, and then after that, we've got a little sit-down fireside chat with Andrew Hockrattle for Canceled Con.
Cool.
That's going to start off this weekend. So make sure you guys tune into that. Eddie, David, and myself will be chatting with Andrew, and that'll live stream, I think, Saturday. But we're going to pre-record that today for the event. So make sure to check that out too. I think it's canceledcon.com for more info.
All right, great. So this one's from Royd Studios, and yeah, I think overall it looks great. He's a brand designer. Logos, brand design identity, currently exploring word marks. So I think his work is, let me zoom in on it a little if I'm able to. Yeah, the work's awesome. I think off the bat, it's really clean. I like the simplicity of a lot of this. Very cool seeing some of the exploration work, and even some of these mock-ups. Let's dive into one of these collections or whatever you call them, multi-shots. Nice to see some of this, like some of the grid work, the construction, just some meaning behind the actual mark. This is really clean. I like that a lot. Yeah, maybe even consider making some shots out of this stuff as well.
I'd love to see, like that initial shot is really clean. It doesn't make me want to or like really know that I could engage further. So I'd, go study some of the carousel stuff. We're going to start doing and experimenting with some carousel designs here soon on Instagram, but entice the user into learning more about your process or breaking it down a little bit. I feel like that's lacking, but the content you have inside of there is really good. It's just kind of hidden.
Yeah, I agree, Peter. Like this is awesome. Like imagine if you just saw like this mark on its own here, like this, for example, like you wouldn't know there's this inside it, So I think the fact that you brought this out onto a shot, I think that's awesome. Like it really draws people in.
Same thing, that one with the guy in the bottom there, that's so cool.
Really cool, yeah.
And I'd love some insight too. Like I click on that one more time and scroll up.
This one?
In terms of like, is there a main comment or something?
Oh, yeah, let's see.
Okay. So for through this fictional series, the only thing I would say is like, I want to know what this is. I just have no concept as to what the project or the brand is. Yeah. It's cool.
Yeah, MOOM monogram.
Right, but like, is this for a men's fashion line? I don't have any context. So give that, and I think that will be helpful as well.
Yeah, yep, for sure. Yeah, it looks like now we're getting into a different variety of work, which I like seeing, like just different, because here a lot of this felt similar. And now we're kind of diving into a little bit more like just different, which is good. I think every brand, you kind of have to set the brand, the tone, and you don't want to do the same thing for each brand. So you kind of want to make sure you're thinking along the brand. But yeah, this is great. I think overall your work is awesome. Really good work. So keep it up.
Yeah.
Really nice. Oh, that's cool right there. Yeah, I love it. Any other feedback, guys?
I think you summed it up very nicely.
Sweet.
All right, cool. Well, here I'm gonna kill the screen here and go back to this one. We'll shut this down because that looks weird. All right. So with that being said, we're gonna transition here into the call with Andrew, so that way we can get that going for you guys for Canceled Con. Thank you so much for tuning into the live stream. If you guys want to be alerted for the next one, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and we're going to go live at the same time next Friday as well. And we're going to try to make this, again, a regular thing for the rest of at least April, if not maybe longer. So if you guys do like it, subscribe, like the videos. It tells us that you're into it. Also, drop a comment on what you would like to see in some of the future streams. We're going to take a little break from doing portfolio reviews going forward. Next week, we were talking about either doing just kind of a talk about things going on in the design space, or doing a Q&A with the Unfold team, anything you guys want to chat about. So drop a comment, let us know. We'll try to tailor that content upcoming for you guys. And we also dropped an interview with Eddie on the channel this morning. So go check it out, get to know him a little bit. And we're going to be doing some upcoming whole series with that called the Design Hour. So if there's other designers on our team, on other just designers, freelancers, business owners that you would like to see us interview as well, let us know and we'll make that happen. We're also going to be live streaming on Monday and Tuesday on Adobe Live. So check that out, behance.net/Adobe Live from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time with myself and Evan Place on the team, showcasing some stuff in Adobe XD. So tune in for that too, and hope everybody is staying safe and healthy at home, and we'll catch you all in an upcoming stream. So everybody, have a good weekend and take care.
See you guys.
Later, guys. Bye.